They're getting to the stage where they're irrelevant, said Chris Boyd about Manchester United a few weeks ago. Boyd works for Sky Sports and, for some reason, was asked to give his thoughts on Erik ten Hag when appearing on their news channel after the heavy defeat to Tottenham. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, but supporters rightly questioned why the opinion of Boyd, who spent his career knocking around Scotland and had a stint with Middlesbrough, was being sought on United, as nobody was wondering what his verdict was on the state of play. Just days later, it was ironic that Boyd was back on TV discussing United, so the club clearly aren't irrelevant if Sky Sports continue to peddle opinions on ongoings at Old Trafford. United haven't won the Premier League since 2013, but are still the biggest club in England, which means intense scrutiny, and a huge number of stories on United are published each day. The pressure of playing for United is unique, and not everyone can cope with the responsibility of wearing the shirt, while the manager is also forced to deal with minute-by-minute scrutiny. When a United manager is nearing the end of his tenure, it is naturally a huge story, and who could take the job next also dominates the news, just like it is done with Erik ten Hag. Ten Hag's future was the biggest story at the end of last season, and the build-up to the FA Cup final was marred by United sounding out other managers over their availability. It wasn't a secret that United considered sacking Ten Hag, and Kieran McKenna was sounded out before the young coach signed a long-term contract with Ipswich Town. Thomas Tuchel held talks with Ratcliffe, and United had to come clean with Ten Hag and clarify that although they met with the German, they decided he was still the best man. The public nature of United considering other managers, while Ten Hag waited like a sitting duck, was not ideal, but given the coverage of the club, the news was bound to be reported. There is a magnifying glass over United, like no other club, which means it is always difficult for the board to keep an approach for another manager under wraps from the press. Journalists are tasked with finding stories and are only doing their jobs by writing up information, so it's down to the source of the story to prevent it from becoming public. That's why it was interesting to hear Tuchel praise England for their discreet approach when he was unveiled as England manager at a press conference on Wednesday afternoon. "Why did you choose England over United, who you have been strongly linked with?" the journalist asked before Tuchel said, "which would have also been in England." Tuchel then added, "Because the idea and the way John and Mark presented it was very fast, very exciting and very confidential, very trustful and straightforward. That was basically a decision for this job and not a decision for anything else. You will understand, I will not comment on individual players today and for sure not comment on any other clubs." Although Tuchel declined to comment on United's interest, his praise for the FA's confidentially might have been a dig at Ratcliffe, considering details of his meeting were reported. It was suggested that when Tuchel met with Ratcliffe, he outlined his vision for United, but the pair didn't agree on the parameters of the role, and Ten Hag remained in charge. Tuchel didn't necessarily come out of those reports looking good, although he didn't look particularly bad either. And maybe he was irked by the details making it to the press. If that's true, it highlights the challenge United face when contacting other managers. There is a clamor for information about the club that is unique in the Premier League. Tyrell Malacia. The talented Manchester United defender has been on a long and arduous journey back to fitness after an injury setback that has kept him sidelined for a considerable amount of time. The Dutchman, who was a key signing for the Red Devils in the summer of 2022, made an instant impact during his debut season at Old Trafford, making 39 appearances across all competitions. However, Malacia has not featured for Manchester United or the Netherlands since playing in the Nations League in June 2023, a period of absence that has been filled with frustration and determination for both the player and the club. 25-year-old left-back, known for his tenacity, energy, and defensive acumen, first picked up a knee injury during the latter stages of the 2022-23 season. At the time, there was hope that the problem would be a minor setback and that he would soon be able to return to action. However, things took a turn for the worse when Malacia's knee injury proved to be more serious than initially thought. He underwent surgery in July 2023, a month after representing the Netherlands in the Nations League in an attempt to resolve the issue. Unfortunately, the surgery did not go as planned, and Malacia's road to recovery became much more complicated. After the initial procedure, it was discovered that the knee injury required further attention, leading to a second operation. The back-to-back surgeries kept Malacia out of action for the entirety of the 2023-24 season, a major blow for both the player and Manchester United, who were hoping to rely on his defensive prowess during a challenging campaign. As the 2023-24 season progressed, Manchester United faced a series of defensive problems, with injuries to key players in their backline compounding the team's struggles on the pitch. The absence of Malacia was keenly felt, as the club often had to shuffle players around to cover the left-back position. Luke Shaw, another key left-back for United, also struggled with injuries during this period, leaving the team short of options in a critical area of the field. Malacia's return became a topic of interest and anticipation among fans, who were eager to see the Dutchman back in action and contributing to the team's efforts. For Malacia, the extended period of recovery was undoubtedly a difficult time. The young defender had shown great promise during his first season at Old Trafford, quickly endearing himself to the fans with his aggressive defending and ability to get forward and support attacks. His versatility, work ethic, and commitment to the cause made him a valuable asset for Manchester United, and his absence was a significant loss. Throughout his rehabilitation, Malacia remained focused on getting back to full fitness. He worked tirelessly with the club's medical and fitness staff, determined to overcome the setbacks and return stronger than ever. Despite the disappointment of missing an entire season, Malacia's resolve never wavered. He was regularly seen at the club's Carrington training ground, engaging in individual training sessions and doing everything possible to aid his recovery. In September 2024, there were positive signs that Malacia was finally nearing a return to action. He was spotted in training with the rest of the Manchester United squad, participating in drills and gradually increasing his workload as he edged closer to full fitness. The sight of Malacia back on the training pitch brought a sense of optimism to the club, with both staff and fans hopeful that his return would provide a much-needed boost to the team's defensive options. Club staff, who had closely monitored Malacia's progress throughout his rehabilitation, expressed confidence in the defender's recovery. There was a strong belief that Malacia could soon make his long-awaited return to competitive action, potentially providing manager Erik ten Hag with another key option in defense. Given the club's struggles with injuries, particularly in the fullback positions, the timing of Malacia's return could not be more crucial. With Manchester United set to face a busy schedule in the coming months, including crucial Premier League fixtures, and European competition, having Malacia available would be a significant boost to the squad. His return would offer more depth in defense and allow ten Hag to rotate his players more effectively, reducing the risk of further injuries to key personnel. As Malacia continues his bid for full fitness, there is a palpable sense of excitement around his impending return. While he has not yet made an appearance for Manchester United this season, his progress in training and the positive reports from club staff suggest that it is only a matter of time before he is back in action. For Malacia, the chance to pull on the Manchester United shirt once again and step out onto the pitch at Old Trafford will be a moment of triumph after a long and difficult road to recovery.